Every time your sensitive child melts down because something feels too hard or too frustrating, their brain is sending you a message, and that is that they don't yet know how to handle frustration. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do to help your child handle this emotion. Hi, I'm Dr. Hillary, Harvard educated clinical psychologist, parenting coach, and mom of 3 sensitive kids who feel everything deeply. For the past 15 years, I've been supporting kids and families and helping families end their sensitive child's meltdowns. In this video, I'm going to share 5 practical ways to teach your sensitive child to handle frustration without lashing out, shutting down, or completely giving up. So, being a kid is inherently frustrating. Kids are constantly being asked to learn new things, to try new things. Their brains are constantly developing, they are constantly growing, and all of that is inherently frustrating. If you think about it, for us as adults, we go through our day, we already know how to do most things. We're not learning to tie our shoes. We are not constantly learning new skills and concepts all day, every day at work, for the most part. Some of us might be, but for the most part, we already know how to do most of the things that we do day to day. But that's not true for our kids. Frustration tolerance is the ability to handle the discomfort of feeling frustrated so that you can persevere through hard things without giving up. And the ability to do this is an executive function. So that means that it develops on its own timeline as your child's brain develops. So you can't force frustration tolerance to develop, but you can do a lot to support it. And if you're raising a sensitive, emotionally intense child, they are going to go to that place of frustration more quickly than other kids. And so your impulse to rush in and rescue them or fix it is going to be strong. But what's really important to understand is that usually the missing skill getting in the way of your child handling frustration more gracefully is just the ability to feel the discomfort. So here are 5 tips to help you support your child in developing frustration tolerance. The first one is just to allow the frustration. And I know that might seem obvious, but again, so often we rush in to fix or rescue or make it better for our child instead of just letting them feel frustrated. So your child is trying to fit a puzzle piece in, and we go and we say, "Here, I got it for you," or their tower falls over and we rush in to rebuild it. We're not helping when we do that. Instead, validate their frustration and hold space for it. "I saw that. You were trying so hard to fit that puzzle piece in and it didn't quite fit. That is frustrating. I get that. I feel that way sometimes too." Your child is not going to persevere through frustrating moments until they learn to sit in that frustration. And you co-tolerating that discomfort with them is what allows them to get through it and realize that it's not going to take them over. They can do this and the frustration will end, just like any other feeling. Number 2, follow your child's lead in the process instead of trying to fix and rescue. So let's say that your child is drawing something and it doesn't look the way they wanted it to. What is your child going to do? "I hate it. This doesn't look like I wanted it to." Maybe they're even ready to rip it up. What do we want to do? We want to reassure, we want to fix, we want to rescue them from that feeling. "Oh, no, no, I think it's beautiful. Here's how we could fix it." That's what we want to do. But that is so unhelpful. Instead, can you just be with your child in that process? It doesn't look the way you wanted it to. That's frustrating. I get that. I actually remember a moment when my middle child was about 5 and he was drawing something and he was literally poised over the trash can ready to rip it up. And I said some version of, "Yeah, it doesn't look the way you wanted it to. That's frustrating. I don't like how that feels either." And he considered what I said, looked at the drawing, and then he was like, "Yeah, you know what? It's not that bad." And he hung the thing on the fridge. Now, I'm not saying it's always going to go that way when you hold space for your child's frustration without reassuring, rescuing, or fixing, but it is going to help your child recognize that that feeling is valid and that they can tolerate it. Similarly, we don't want to push our kids to try things before they're ready. So if your child is getting really frustrated, you can empower your child. "Hey, you know what? It's okay for you to take a break if you need to. You're the boss of your body and you'll know when you're ready to come back to this." Tip number 3, you're going to help just enough. We call this scaffolding. So you're kind of building a bridge between where your child is in their current set of abilities and where they want to be. So, for example, This is the example I always use when I'm teaching parents about scaffolding. Let's say that your child is a toddler and they're trying to zip their own coat. And we know toddlers do not yet have the fine motor control to start a zipper for the most part. So, a lot of times, what we want to do as parents is we want to just like zip that whole thing up for them and keep it moving, right? But what if you started the zipper and let them finish it? Similarly, let's say your child is trying to build a block tower, but you can see that they're building it on the carpet, and there's just no way this block tower has any hope of survival because it is just not built on a sturdy surface. Maybe you're the one who comes and puts a book down and helps them build that first layer so that then they can build the tower on top of a sturdier foundation. There's a metaphor in there. Do you see what I'm saying? So, can we help them just enough? We don't take over, but we also don't just abandon them and leave them in this really impossibly frustrating situation like the toddler with the zipper who literally doesn't have the fine motor control to start that zipper by themselves yet. Number 4, model your own frustration. This is really important because if you think about it, as I said in the beginning, we're not constantly learning new things as adults the way that our kids are. And it's really easy for our kids to look at us and think, wow, my parent just knows how to do everything. Like, she can tie her shoes, she can drive the car, she can make a meal, she can do whatever she wants because she knows how to do it. And look at me, I don't know how to do anything. I think our kids forget that we were little once too, that things were not always easy for us. And so you can literally tell your child that, gosh, look at you tying your shoes. When I was your age, I did not know how to do that. Or I can't believe that you know how to navigate your way around a computer. I didn't know how to do that when I was your age, which is true for most of us, right? And you can model your real life day to day frustration too. One tip here, don't fake it or force it. You're going to have enough real frustrating moments in your day that you don't need to make something up. But just in moments where you're actually frustrated, like, oh, I cannot open this jar. This is so frustrating, right? That happens. Narrate that and model the working through. I'm going to put it down for a minute. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to come back to it. You know what? I'm going to ask for help because I feel like I've tried all the things and I just can't open this jar right now by myself. Or I'm going to walk away from it and come back and try again, right? Modeling the working through, modeling the actual tolerance of frustration. This feels frustrating. That is not a comfortable feeling. I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to sit in this frustration for a minute, right? Show your child that you are handling these things too. And number 5, trust the process. Frustration means that you are learning something new. So you can celebrate that with your child. So you can say things like, you know what? Yeah, this is frustrating. But you know what's really cool? When we feel frustrated, that usually means we're learning something new. We're learning how to do something that we did not know how to do before. So, an example of this, my daughter picked up a two-wheeled bike when she was like 4, and she was, of course, frustrated by the process. She was frustrated by how hard it was to even get on the bike, how hard it was to pedal the bike. And so I said to her, I was like, yeah, you're learning how to ride a bike. That's a whole new skill. You've never done this before. And when we're learning something new, how do we feel? And she knows because I've been saying this to her since she was little. She goes, we feel frustrated. And I was like, yeah. But what's on the other side of that frustration? She's like, knowing how to ride the bike. And so she taught herself, working through that frustration, how to ride a bike at 4 years old. She often says, she's now 5, and she often says, this is hard, but I'm working through it. And she uses that for everything from learning new skills in competitive gymnastics to getting her hair brushed when it hurts and she doesn't like it. She talks about working through the hard. And that is something, those are her words. I didn't give her those words, but the words I did give her were, wow, this feels hard. And that's because we're learning something new. Learning new things is inherently frustrating. The frustration means that we're about to be able to do something we were not able to do before. And that has been really cool to see her be able to use that in her day-to-day life. So to recap, allow the frustration, follow their lead, help just enough, model your own frustration, and offer your child stories of sameness from when you were a kid and learning those same new skills, and trust the process. Celebrate frustration as a part of learning new skills. Remember, frustration is an executive function, so you can't rush it, but you can support it. You allow the feelings and then you get out of the way and let it unfold. If this is resonating, go watch my video, How to End the Meltdowns in 8 Weeks or Less, especially if you are struggling constantly with your child through power struggles and meltdowns over frustration and any other emotions that are too tough for your child to handle right now. I'll show you how I partner with families really closely to end the meltdowns in 8 weeks or less without punishments, bribes, or yelling. And even if you have tried everything and nothing has worked. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.